O le whaamama awenga le nei ma le Pacific Isi, mo au tupe whaamumoli Samoa, a o tapuni ai ofisa mo le whaava yaso. Whaonga nei lolna wa unanga forward ua, o le direct transfer. A whai wa yesa o membership card ma e whaonga ina le internet banking, o le matua i whaingo fia lava. Na o le tipose mai lava lau se leni matua account, o na whaatino leo la foina o lau se leni mo a inga i Samoa. E ia inga i tahu na whaamalia ina. Mo nisi whaamatalanga i le nei au nanga fo. Wala au le telefoni o walu se lau o tasi o nono. Po le lua fitu ono fitu iwa fitu wha. Pe text mai fo ilo suafa i le valu tolu o.
Telephone voucher is one of the most convenient ways that I'm finding now to do my shopping here at Farmer Joe, and my sister just sent through the voucher on my cell phone, and I just come straight to Farmer Joe to do my shopping.
Ole si tulanga pitusili ole tau. Ole lafo me ole pepa tala oloa. Ona whaangale e whaatau i oloa e au ngā mole ainga.
I think it's really convenient for families overseas if they don't know how to help their families here. Then this is the perfect way.
Mai ai la sa so fua tau e lisia sa.
Le fia foi sa we mo mawina le foi au nang fo e ala mai le talo for voucher. Ila wana whaatau ma me te mga oi. Ile voucher.
Tai mo le talo pa voucher ua mau ele apususi o se wa fine. So se paro loa fai ngo fie. A me se le tferwa i mala telefoni. Tai mi uma. Ai lo la fo merkes ona ino o ta maore ainga.
Pa te tu la vole talo for voucher mo le foi au nang fo pa tai. Ma lu la le tsam pai.
Pa tai talo pa voucher. Teki talo pa voucher.
O le whaamama awenga le nei ma le Pacific Isi, mo au tupe whaamumoli Samoa, a o tapuni ai ofisa mo le whaava yaso. Whaonga nei lolna wa unanga forward ua, o le direct transfer. A whai wa yesa o membership card ma e whaonga ina le internet banking, o le matua i whaingo fia lava. Na o le tipose mai lava lau se leni matua account, o na whaatino leo la foina o lau se leni mo a inga i Samoa. E ia inga i tahu na whaamalia ina. Mo nisi whaamatalanga i le nei au nanga fo. Wala au le telefoni o walu se lau o tasi o nono. Po le lua fitu ono fitu iwa fitu wha. Pe text mai fo ilo suafa i le valu tolu o.
Whakalawhalahi atu, everybody. Malole sofu mafswifwa maua malelagi mama. I'm so sorry today. It's a bit. And a warm Pacific greetings to all of our beautiful viewers today. I'm your girl Pea, and here we've got the stunning Claudia today. How have you been today?
Whakalawhalahi atu, everyone, and it is the last day of Niuean Language Week, and my favorite word is still mohe, which means sleep.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite word now today.
I think we're going to be doing a lot of I was going to say mohe'in, well, sleeping this long weekend, because it is Labor Day on Monday, which means that for all you workers, we are going to commemorate the special day for you guys, and we also get 1 extra weekend day. So yay!
So we're gonna have Monday off, guys. Just FYI. But no, it's
too much. But...
Yeah, but you know what? We might go for a walk on Monday. Who knows? Well, we'll stick within our bubbles. But guys, today, that COVID update: green light, red light, orange light. What's up with that? And for your latest, head over to Pacific Health Talanoa with Lorenzo, and he will post up what the latest is with regards to the red light, stop, green light, go, orange light, maybe.
That does remind me though, have you ever been to one of those parties where like it's like red light means you're taken, orange light means you don't know.
Complicated?
Yeah. Yep. And then green light means you're single.
Oh.
And then they give you like those coloured bands and then you're walking around.
Oh, yes.
Have you seen those parties?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the parties I take the green band. Just kidding, guys. It's red light for me. But you know what? It's an interesting kind of concept that the government have come up with. And I'd like to see this unfold. Green light, red light. I don't know. But for the latest, you can check the COVID-19 official website or head over to Pacific Health Talanoa with the brother Lorenzo.
Definitely. Now today to finish off Niuean Language Week, we do have 2 amazing guests. Very excited to have them on, and hopefully they might teach us another favourite Niuean word of the day.
Well, I'm actually looking forward to catching up with Matt, actually, because although, we're here locked down in Auckland, he's enjoying a little bit of freedom in Dunedin. So I'm actually really, really excited to see what they're up to in Dunedin and what the weather's like. Because I explained to him the weather in Auckland right now is red light. I'm gonna enjoy this red light, green light, orange light thing.
Definitely. But should we head into that break?
Yep.
Yes.
We're going to head into a break. But guys, stay tuned. Our 2 special guests to wrap up Niuean Language Week. It's Friday. Don't go anywhere. Chill with us. It's a long weekend.
Bring your drink along as well. It's going to be a good ride. Yeah. But yes, we'll see you after the break.
Stay tuned, guys.
Tautua ma le au nanga mo tau sa mo service station nei tona i matu. Ma tau te utuina lo ta vale, ma le tele o nisi o matu au nanga i se ese. Ai le ngata foile, ma tau te sea ke ina fo ila ta vale. Sepala ya foi suau, mola o tapan. A fai foi o vai pa o losa. A wala te poli, ma tu te sepala ya foi e mola o tapan. Mola no posila fia. Mua, tapela o tavale pe auto. Lua, tapela o telefoni il time utu ina o tavan. Ma le vaenga mulu. Mana tua fo. E matua I whasaina, lo tau makitapa ai no fuanga whapeni. Ota Samoa, ore ma ota mo Samoa. Ma do te fia e au na pea mo o Samoa. Maftaila fia mai, we'll see you again. God bless. Molo no posila fia. Mua, ta pe lau ta vale pe out. Rua, ta pe lau telefoni le taimi utu ina lau ta vale. Ma le vaenga mulu. Mana tua fo. E matua I whasa ina, lo tau makitapa ai no fuanga whapeni. Mata Samoa, ole mata mo Samoa. Mata te fia e au na pe mo o Samoa. Maftaile fia mai. We'll see you again. God bless.
Whakalofalahi atu everybody, and welcome back to BluTable Talanoa. As promised, we have two Niuean warriors on our show today to wrap up Niuean Language Week. Man, it's been an exciting week, learning new phrases and honouring our brothers and sisters from the Niuean community. And Claudia and I have just been blown away with how amazing the community have been. Today, we have our two special guests. We've got Jon Erick, who is a mental health nurse at Starship Hospital, and also Matt, who's studying at the moment with studying BA in Communications and a minor in French, but he's also the Vice President of Otago Niue oh my gosh.
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. It's the stuttering for me, and it's the green light, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here on BluTable Talanoa. Claudia's got a joke that she really, really must say on the show to you guys.
Thank you.
We'll let Claudia take it away.
Thank you for setting me up there, But I only have one joke, and we have two guests. So who wants to nominate themselves?
Or you, Matt, or yours, Matt.
Okay, all right, Matt, let's do it. Let's do it for the Uni Association. Okay, so this is an honour for the traffic light system that Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has announced earlier today. So, Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, honestly, if you don't find this funny, please still laugh. But, okay, how do you spell shop?
S-H-O-P.
How do you spell shop?
S-H-O-P.
How do you spell mop?
M-O-P.
How do you spell top?
T-O-P.
How do you spell shop?
S-H-O-P.
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 What do you do at a green light?
You go.
No, there was that hesitation though. There was hesitation.
I was going to say go. Stop.
I knew you were going to say stop. Yeah. So.
If Claudia was to make the announcement today with Jacinda Ardern, everyone in Auckland would have gone shopping today. Would have been, stop. Claudia, you know what? That's what I love about you. But
It still made our guests laugh, and that's the aim of it. Now, did you guys also know, in honor of Niuean Language Week, did you guys know that there was one duck, just one lone duck on the island of Niue called Trevor the Duck?
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
See?
Apparently it flew, it was flying from a different island. It got blown off course and it somehow landed on Niue. And there was just that one duck called Trevor the Duck. There you go.
because, what was it? Niue don't have, the ducks won't travel over to Niue because they don't actually have lakes or ponds. So they actually the community of Niue created a man-filled pond just for this one duck, which they named Trevor. So I thought that was a pretty cool story, and we still talk about it. We've been talking about it all week. But
Definitely. And if you guys want to share that fact, please be sure to credit us.
Is the duck still alive?
No.
Sadly not, no.
Peking duck, eh?
Yes, that's what I thought so.
But anyways, boys, it's such an honour to have you both on our show today. But we'll start with yourself. Jon, can you please introduce yourself to our viewers today.
And if you want to speak in Niue, by all means, please.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Ia. Monu tūtanga loa. Hake ke pūelangi lunga, ifu ke pālalu funua. Angi mai e matangi, tunge mapala. Ke tūtanga loa. Whakalofale atu ki atua, momo tolo osi. Whakalofale atu Matt, Pea, Claudia. Tō tahe mitake ngā hua hao. Whia lahi au, mai ki ke whelewe aho nei. Hello everyone, my name is Jon, Matt, Pea, and Claudia. So happy to share the BluTable stage with you, and happy to promote Niuean Language Week. Just a disclaimer, I'm not the most talented or fluent guy in Niuean, but I'm super proud to speak on it, promote it, and I'm happy to be here. Whakoelahi.
I love that. Thank you so much.
And what a way to wrap up Niuean Language Week, man.
No pressure, Matt.
Oh yeah, how to follow that. Whakalofale atu ki Mutolosi, ko ingoa haku ko Matt Manukuo, hau e tomanga ko whinoane haku puatua mo awasele ona ne pata. Ko o fulu e tautau haku e Moui, no whau I Dunedin. Mo I whakaako au ke aonga pulotu ko Otago. Hello everyone, my name is Matt Manukuo. I'm originally from Auckland, born and raised Central Auckland, and now I'm studying down in Dunedin, third year in full Niuean from the beautiful villages of Whinoane Hakupuatua and Awasele Ona Nepata in Niue. My grandparents are Salai Manukuo and Ikimanga Manukuo, and on my mother's side is Luka Makoni and Loseli Luka. Goilahi.
I love that. Thank you so much, guys. And honestly, we are so excited to have you on our show today because every single Niuean guest that we've had on the show have just been so friendly, so funny to engage with, and just so knowledgeable. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, look, I agree with Claudia. This week's been awesome. And off air we did, we all briefly spoke about the importance of the language. And, we've found it difficult just learning a few phrases. So we know that it must be just as difficult for our Niuean brothers and sisters to, continue to try and learn the language as well. But I'm hoping that, with the initiative that's been put forward by the Ministry of Pasifika People, I know it's only a week, but it is something that can help promote and bring joy to our children's lives like every year. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it could be an initiative that can continue maybe once a month, once every month, maybe something that we could kind of do the wink wink to the Ministry of Pasifika People for, because it's important. But this morning, Jon, we'll start with you. Can you, talk to us about why it is important to learn the language and to keep the Niuean language very much alive?
Okay. All right. All languages are important, but Niue language, man, Bangaho Niue, you're very important. Firstly, if you didn't know, Niue language is only less than 10% fluent speakers in New Zealand. So that's one point. The other point is in Niue, they've already started speaking English instead of Niuean at school. So it's looking pretty grim. But for me, the Bangaho Niue, I feel like if you know the language, you can connect better with your people. The older generation is dying off. So, it's up to us to take care of the language, to look after it. And what else about the language? Yeah. That's my thoughts on it. Yeah. Again, a disclaimer, I ain't fluent. I'm still learning. But I'm going to do my hardest, because when I was younger, I used to be so confident speaking te reo Māori, and then it got to the point where I got a bit embarrassed being confident to speak te reo, but not my own language. So I had to hide in my corner and study up. So it's taken me a few years to pick it up, but now I feel like I can hold a conversation, which I'm very proud about. So yeah, thanks.
Oh, that's awesome. And don't worry about, look, both my parents are Samoan, and I still struggle to, hold a conversation with mum and dad. So that's all good. We're all in the same boat, and we're all fighting to ensure that, we keep the language and our culture alive. So, man, big ups to you, brother. And yourself, Matt.
For me, my own connection with the whangahau has been, limited throughout my life, especially being born in New Zealand. It's pretty hard to connect to the language and the culture. And, I wasn't really much connected with the Niue culture or language other than through my family members or like my grandparents who could speak fluent Niuean but and no English, so it would be hard to understand them. It's always been like a point for me that, sometimes I feel embarrassed about that I don't know my language, or, when I'm amongst my other Pacific Island peers who are same age as me and they speak their fluent tongue in Samoan, Tongan, Fijian easily, and then that makes me question like, oh man, am I as Pacific Islander as they are? Am I as Niuean as I say I am? But regardless, that hasn't stopped me from wanting to represent Niue and learn the wangahau as much as I can. I don't speak it fluently, but I know enough, I think, just to get me along, but it's still, in my eyes, still not enough. So I'd love to go back one day, hopefully, to Niue to like get amongst the culture and the language as much as I can, because if I can teach myself, then I can teach others, and then, it can sustain over generations. So that's the goal.
Now, Matt, it's very interesting that you mentioned you correlate your ability to speak Niuean to whether you are Pacific Islander enough. With that in mind, as the VP of the Otago Niuean Association, what do you do to kind of ensure or bring that Niuean culture back into the younger generation?
So I've always been amongst the community as a young Niuean leader, even in Auckland when I was back home in there, and then bringing that all that leadership stuff to Dunedin of all places. There's not that much Niueans down here, and and the Pacific community, they're not really aware of what the Niue culture is or the Niue language is. So my role in the association and our role in general as an association is to portray the Niue culture amongst the students as much as we can, whether that be through different events. This week we did one day each on our Instagram, just taking over and sharing stories about our different aspects of our culture. I was thankful enough to get food, so I was like, oh yeah, sweet. So
love it. Always the most important topic.
Yeah, that's it. And a lot of people were messaging through. They were saying they've never heard like food like takihi or pitako or nane as well, which is some Niuean foods, which I was really happy to share. Any opportunity that I get to speak wangahau Niue, introduce myself, or do anything like that, that's what I do to help. Yeah.
Now that's awesome, and keep up the good work. But Jon, I just want to ask you, what is your thoughts and your opinion on hearing Matt's, do that connection between his ability of speaking his own language to, is he Pacific Islander enough?
Well, first, how old are you, Matt?
20.
Yeah, well, I'm impressed by Matt, because when I was 20, I was no leader like what Matt is now. So, he's carrying the torch well. So I'm just really impressed by guys like Matt, because as myself, I didn't really care about the language at 20 years old. I was more into just hanging out and partying. I didn't feel like language was important, but now what you're asking about Matt, so I feel like that if you can't speak the language, you're in a different category. You got your Niueans, he's got the language, that's that category. Then you got us, New Zealand born, and it's kind of feel like the connection to try and connect, very hard. So I find it hard to connect, but the thing I've learned lately is that it's not about the language, it's just about your spirit, your energy inside and how you feel, the confidence, that's what it meant. Oh, that's what I think, that, and then the language will come as long as you just put yourself out there. Get your toes wet, because well, I don't know if that made sense, but that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, definitely. But I do love that, because you're right. A lot of our Pacifica, the generation now, especially, I know at 20 I was the same. I actually didn't really care about learning about my culture, my language. And now, at the age that I'm at now, with 3 children, I do regret it. I do really regret it, because now I'm struggling to kind of teach my children how to learn this language, which is actually really, really beautiful. And I kind of wish that at some stage when I was 20, I had someone like Matt, who was, who was passionate about trying to learn the culture, learn the language, and to push that through Otago University. That's pretty awesome. So at my age now, I'm struggling big time.
No, Bea's still young, but the reason that I just brought that up, Matt, is because I think everyone around the world feels that way. I know I can relate to that feeling, and I speak Spanish. But no, I'm really glad that you brought that up, because I know that's going to resonate with a lot of people watching this. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm just like sitting here going, gosh, what was I doing at 20? Probably the same thing that I'm doing now, getting into trouble. But look, Joan, we know that we can see this. There's so much passion and energy coming through from you now, man. And I'm just kind of like, that's exactly what we needed to have on the show today, and I love it. Are you making it a priority to teach your children now? If so, what is it? Obviously you are, but what's something that you're doing differently now that your parents didn't apply on you when you were growing up, just with regards to the language?
Yep. Okay. Well, keep it short. Every morning, I'll speak to my daughter, Niuean, 5 sentences, bang, malolo nā kai, whakalowhalei atu, honge nā kai, eke hā koi. Just 4, those are like the heavy artillery, just basics. And now that I've seen that it's taken a couple of months for her to get that down, because it's just having the confidence to speak it. Now I've got her into saying the leongi before we eat. She always say a prayer. And it's just to whakoelahi mga whaoa, whakoelahi tau lafu haku, whakoelahi kia tua, leveki mai mga whaoa, which is basically thank you to the family, thank you God, and look after my family. So I've got these phases in for my children, because my oldest child is 11. My plan is to get her a bit confident in the language, then she can speak it to the second, and then the third, and then hopefully they will all just be speaking Wangahau Niue at home. So that's what I do. Yeah.
We had a guest yesterday, Lavia, who they're in Niue, and he said that probably a lot of our generation now we just hand over the phone, and I'm guilty for that. And it's cocoa melon, which is the most popular. Which is the craze at the moment. Do you think that an app or something similar to Cocoa Melon, but in the Niuean language or in any Pasifika language, could maybe help with our children and the language?
Yeah, I definitely think that it'll be beneficial for our young people, because some parents I know maybe wouldn't push it on as the language on to their children as much as they can. But, we're living in a new technology world. Just chuck the kids on an iPad or a phone and their eyes are glued. So maybe get something like an app with, different words and their mother tongue would be really good. Yeah, it's a really good idea.
Definitely. Now, Matt, as well, we have, Ben and I, we have had the pleasure of chatting to different people during different language weeks, and Niuean Language Week is actually one of our favorite ones. But is there something about the Niuean culture or language that you think stands out from other Pacific Island cultures?
Personally, I think that because not much people know much about the Niue culture, that's what's its biggest asset. So when we come and show up, we show out as much as we can. So I think that's one of the biggest assets. Our culture and our language is beautiful. Our country is beautiful as well. And I think yeah, I think that's been throughout my life and throughout representing Niue. I know that that's been always my focal point of difference, that because we're different, no one really knows much about us. Let's show them, who we are. And yeah.
I love that because I've actually, myself and Claudia and the Blue team, we attended the apology that happened a couple of months ago. And, it was the Niuean group that welcomed Jacinda Ardern into the apology, and the energy and that just, it really blew me away. And I tell you, because we were behind the scenes, so we were walking past the boys, and just they were just so fierce in the way that they wanted to kind of connect, and it was really, really beautiful. But after all of that, when you connected with them, like, behind the scenes, after they were just really, really nice people, just really passionate. With yourself, Joan, do you think that if that same passion was applied in maybe, more of something in schools, do you think that is there something that the Niueans could do in our schools that could really help? Because it's an endangered language. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the passion is there, but I mean, you've mentioned that only 10% of New Zealanders or Niuean New Zealanders are speaking the language. We're quite lucky that we've got all the resources and the tools. Is there something, or is there a tool that you think could potentially be something that could help our Niuean communities to ensure that the language continues to maybe grow in schools, like Polyfest and...
I was part of that group, that Tautoa Niue group that performed in front of Jacinda.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. She kept looking at me. I'm not sure why, but I
Oh
don't
my
know
God.
what it was. But,
Maybe because she was trying to tell you green light, maybe?
Yeah, always. Oh, so you were part of that group that walked with her.
No. So
We wish.
I was a photographer.
Oh,
We're the media
yeah,
team behind the scenes, yeah.
I was part of that group. Yeah, you could feel the electricity in the Takalo. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I think that Takalo should be mandatory to be learned by all the tours in New Zealand. That could be a start, because when you do that Takalo, aka the Niue Haka, man, you just feel like this energy, just you're not the stress, everything just comes out. Then afterwards, you just feel relaxed and calm. Like in the show today, how I did that calling. After I did that, my nerves just comes down. Like that's a great start, I reckon. But then you're just free, you feel open. Personally, that's an easy way to start. Otherwise, there's plenty of story authors out there that write books. Bonnie Pihingia, David Riley, Lingi Sisikifu. There are Niuean authors that write books for kids. So, but yeah, Takalo, I reckon that should be just standard. You just need to know it on site. If you hear the Monu, tu tangaloa, and then they goes, Go fe, tautoa niue. That means where's my warriors? Instant on site. It doesn't matter if you're eating, doing something, drop what you're doing, jump in if you're within the hearing shot. But yeah.
I love that.
But I agree though, because even at the beginning when you did that, I kind of felt that sense of, oh my gosh, because I was saying to Claudia today, I'm feeling so nervous today, I don't know why. And it just, that calmness came across me today, and and I agree. It's only because I was like thinking, man, if they can show that much passion in that, because that performance itself, I was, it gave me goosebumps. I was right there trying to capture that one photo that could potentially go up on Jacinda Ardern's page, which it didn't. But, I just felt it. And, this is where you were like, man, live and breathe Pacific, right?
Well, maybe, Matt, maybe that's something that you can teach at your university.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. But we're going to do a workshop, and I was really keen to do a takalo workshop actually with the Pacific boys at our uni. But because of level 3 and level 2, all those plans got cancelled. So I'm holding on to the next year because I'd really love to teach that part of it. Because like John said, it's one of those things that if you're toa niue, you know the time and you know the place, and it's on site every time. The energy just goes from 0 to 100. When you hear the kalanga, we're on.
Well, when you do, record it and send us a video because we'd love to see it.
Yeah, we would love to post it up as well.
Yeah. Now, another very serious topic, and I know it always gets our guests a little bit nervous when I say this, but this is a very serious topic. And Matt, I'm going to ask you, food. Yep. What is your favorite Niuean dish? We all know this is a serious topic in every single household. So which one is your favorite Niuean dish? And can you please describe it with so much detail that it actually feels like we're tasting it?
All right. My favorite Niue dish is the most famous Niue dish, which is takihi. Takihi is made up of 3 ingredients, so that's the best part about it. It's made up of niue taro or any taro. Niue taro, I would say, is the best taro in the whole Pacific.
Not the first person to say that.
Everyone said that.
It is, and I'll stand by that, and I'm sure John will as well. Pawpaw, which is the second ingredient, and coconut cream. So taro and pawpaw are cut thinly and layered upon each other in a tray or on some banana leaves, and then you pour coconut cream in between all the crevices and all over. Cook it in the umu, and it comes out.
Now, Matt, it seems like you have this recipe on lock. So would you be able to do an actual visual example and then let us taste test it?
Are we able to cross the borders?
No.
Well, it's cut in the...
Send it through post, but honestly, yeah.
Everyone, every single guest that we've had on the show from Niue, that was the one thing that Niue have the best taro, the best. So I'm actually yet to go and find out where I can purchase the Niuean taro, and it looks like it's going to be bye Samoa taro.
But what about you, John? What is your favorite Niuean dish?
Oh, I'd have to agree with Matt, but the one that I really liked is I was in Niue and my brother went fishing early in the morning, so you got to go out and get the fish. And the fish that's famous in Niue is called the wahoo. I'm not sure if you're aware of wahoo.
Yes.
Yeah. So he had to cut it into steaks, like that big steaks. And then he brought one over to us. And my older brother, he likes to set things up nice and like do a chopping board with a little bit of chili and lemon and but me and my mum, like by the time he came back with his little chopping board set, we already smashed the whole one steak each of raw fish. So I would have to say wahoo raw fish from Niue, fresh from the sea, would have to be one of my favorites. But I'd agree. Takihi is on my list too, but Matt stole it, so raw fish.
I think we might have to ask producer Ryan, who's actually Niuean, to get Nana. Hopefully Nana's watching. Nana, if you can make us some Niuean dishes for next week, please. We would really love some but I think Ryan's just keeping his Nana to himself. But you know what? We've absolutely loved talking about the Niuean culture. But let's go over to you, John. John. Can you talk us through a little bit about your journey, because you are a mental health nurse for Starship Hospital, and on the break I did say that I didn't even know that there was a service that existed in Starship Hospital. I knew that it would. Well, I just didn't think that was an issue like with the younger children, but I see it now is more and more. Talk about mental health. Can you talk a little bit about your journey there at Starship?
Oh yeah. I won't give you too much information.
But obviously because of the confidential.
Some secrets in mental health that need to be. So mental health, yes, it's Starship. Just like you said, not many people know that there's a mental health unit for kids And if you come to Starship, we're in the basement, kept tucked away where no one can see us.
Oh, no.
It's not a bad thing, I mean, but the ages that we take are between 13 to 17.
Yep.
Most of the cases we have self-harm. We hardly get guys with psychosis. We get a few eating disorders. Depression, bipolar, psychosis. Sorry, guys, I haven't really talked about my work. I don't really talk much about my work, but there's a huge,
No.
Yeah.
That's fine. What the question should have been, is being a Pasifika, does it help you better understand the children that do come through? Because I did ask a question probably a few months ago to a guest that came through who actually, well, it wasn't our show, but it was someone else's show, and this person was Pasifika, and they said that they had a Balangi counsellor, and my question to them was, do they actually understand the journey and what we actually go through? Because it's kind of difficult for me to kind of offload something to someone who wouldn't understand the culture aspect of it. So my question should have been something along that line. Does it help with you being Pasifika, with any of the children that do come through? Does it help?
Well, I think it's the same with all Pacific nations, that we serve first. That's our leadership. We first show leadership through service. So we start from we serve from the bottom to the top. We didn't come in personally, I come in level like with everyone else. So with the kids, especially the brown kids, man, you just see a brown person come in, man, they instant relax, just seeing a Pacific person. And because of the way we talk, the way we embrace, they just feel relaxed. In my work, they say that I don't need to give medication because I just have a calming effect on the kids. But I think it's more the Pacific upbringing.
Yeah. Because,
and it's a shame because a lot of the staff from different cultures have a different way of moving in the unit. And man, a lot of them get in trouble a lot or just, cause a bit of more problems than solutions. So,
I know it's, sorry, I should have, it was probably the way that I asked the question, but that was something because I know that, especially now and during lockdown, I've had a few discussions with some people that are close and dear to me, and I didn't even know that there were certain areas in the Pacific community, it exists, but we just don't talk about it. So thank you for answering that and clearing up that for me. But sorry, we'll move over to Matt. Matt, did you want? Because I know that you've got the confidential. So sorry, Matt. What about yourself? How's the life there in Dunedin? I hear the weather's great there.
Yeah, it's great down here.
Yep. Sorry. With regards to the university, your university journey.
That's been really good. Sorry, just a side note. Just wanted to thank Jon for all his work because, I was a previous patient on the oncology ward at Starship Hospital, and I've been a long-time patient there, and I know that how important it is to have Pacific faces in those sorts of spaces, and I would have definitely, because a lot of the times I was handled by non-Pacific nurses and doctors, and it is quite tense because they don't know much about us. But I wish that we could have met when I was a patient in those spaces, because I know you would have made it heaps easier for me and my family. So if Koilahi, Jon, to answer your question about uni in Otago, it's cool. I've been here for 3 years now. It's a whole different world than Auckland. And the deep South Island, it's a different culture, different people, not much islanders down here. And if there are islanders, they have a full-on Kiwi accent. And
seems like you're mastering yours too.
I'm trying to, go back home and put on a little accent from the South Island. But it's been good. we're currently in exam season now, so yeah, just looking forward to the holidays and getting amongst summer.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm sorry, Matt. I'm going to ask. Does it help that there's not as many Pasifika down there? Because I find that if I surround myself with too many Pasifika, and I'm going to say it on live, guys, I'm going to say it, that we kind of lose a little bit of focus and go to the other direction. But that's all of us. It's common. You know, we all like the gathering. We all like to hang out. We all like to chill. Does it help you? Does it help that there's not that many Pasifika down there?
Oh, 100%. That's why I left Auckland. So I don't get distracted by my peers.
I love it, honestly, man.
Thank you.
But yeah, it was a bit of a shock to not see, to see one or two brown faces and the whole community. But yeah, I guess in a sense it is good, but it also I also miss seeing brown people all the time. Like when I would go back up to Auckland, I'm like, man, didn't realize there was this much islanders in the space before.
Do you know, it's really funny.
Or not.
It's really funny that you mentioned that you left Auckland, because one of my friends, she's half Samoan, half Tongan. She also left Auckland to go study in Otago. She's done really well. She's completed like 2 masters and 2 undergrads, and she's barely like just over 30. So maybe leaving Auckland is the trick.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I feel like to get out of trouble, I need to move down to Dunedin. But look, yeah. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure having you both on. I'm not sure if Claudia had a question in mind for you both.
No, honestly, it's just been an absolute pleasure having the both of you on the show today. And your passion and your love for your culture and your language is so infectious. And we just love it. And please keep up the good work. And I also just want to say a shout out to Ryan's Nana, who said that she is watching and that she loves our program. So we love you so much, Nana.
Hi, Nana.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and look, a massive shout out to everyone that's tuned in, and also to all of our Niuean community. Look, if this is a challenge to all of our Niuean brothers and sisters. If you've got an idea that could help save your endangered language, do it. Doesn't matter what it is, even if it's small, and if you think, oh, it's not going to work, I say do it, because if there's only, imagine if there's just a little bit over 10%, it's really important. I mean, you've heard it here with Matt saying that, if he could see a face that was familiar, he could probably connect a little bit more. And I'm not saying that having a pālangi or, a different ethnic group, there to help, they're doing their job. But it does assist our community if there's more familiar faces in those spaces. And I totally 100% agree with Matt. And that's probably the better way to ask the question with Jon. So I do apologize, Jon, but sorry.
And I also just want to say a shout out to Faitalia, and also to Sandy, and also hello to, I think it's pronounced Kulasi, who said afternoon from Pokena, but then afterwards she said watching from Iraq. So that must have been a very, very quick flight, or I don't know how you got there, but hi.
But look, we are going to wrap up, but we're just going to finish off. Jon, do you have any final words, or words of encouragement that you wanted to share with the community of Niue, or just our viewers?
Oh, yeah. Whakolahi pa Matt, ke tuwha e Zoom meeting monga nei. Thanks, Matt. Muchas gracias, Claudia, and
Ay, de nada. Gracias.
Hey. Whawhatei lava, Pea. To all my Niue tours, just be strong. Nua ki mua, matalahi au ke Tagata Niue. Whakolahi, ua nimo ke wangahau Niue. And kia Tupuolaola, e Moui, e tau Tagata Niue. Keep the Niuean language and the Niue people. May the Niue people and the language thrive.
I love that. Thank you so much. And Matt, before we get to you, I just also want to say, Kulesi, I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly, but I'm going to say I love you too. And I haven't met you, but you have a beautiful DP, and thank you so much for saying nice program. So thank you so much. And Matt, please.
I just want to say whakawelahi for having us on today. It's been an honor to talk about, our Niue culture with you and share it with the world, as it seems. We're a small nation, and I've heard this quote once, but that it says, we're small in numbers, but we're big in heart. So I hope that shone through today, through Jon and I, and also your guys' energy towards our culture. It's been really good to hear, and we appreciate it a lot. Koe lahi kia manuena whai tapu wangahau Niue, koe lahi koe naia.
Thank you so much. Honestly, what a great way to end off of this very amazing and exciting Niuean Language Week. Pea and I, we've definitely learnt a lot of Niuean words and phrases. Yep. My favorite one is still moke, and I'm going to be doing a lot of that this weekend. But guys, thank you again so much.
It's again, we're both blown away. Like I mentioned earlier, I was so nervous. I know I do this all the time, but I was actually quite nervous today. But you have both brought so much energy on the show, and then managed to bring that calmness through. It must be that Niuean vibe this week. So a massive shout out to our brothers, our sisters of the Niuean community. Nana, hello, and also a massive thank you to our sponsors, Pacific 40, Pacific Money Transfer, Pacific Easy, Maoto Samoa, SecuWorks, the Pacific Business Hub, Say Oriana, Makanet. My goodness, sorry, it's a mouthful, but thank you so much to all of the hearts and souls who continue to show love and support for our platform here, BluTable Talanoa and Blue TV. Don't forget to tune in later on this evening for Asiata, the brother there, taking us over to Samoa.
Honestly, thank you guys so much, and have a very blessed long weekend, and stay safe, guys.
Stay in your bubble. God bless.
Take care.
Tau tua ma le au nanga mo tau sa mo service station nei tona I mata. Ma tau te utuina lo ta vale, ma le tele o nisi o mata au nanga ese ese. Ai le ngata foile, ma tau te sia ke ina fo ilo ta vale. Sepala ya foi suau, mola o tapan. A fai foi o vai pa o losa. A wala te poli, ma tu te sepala ya foi e mola o tapan. Mola no posila fia. Mua, ta pela o ta vale pe out. Rua, ta pela o telefone ni tai me utu ina o ta vale. Ma le vaenga mulu. Mana tua fo. E matua I whasaina, lo tau makitapa ai no fuanga whapeni. Ota Samoa, ore ma ota mo Samoa. Ma do te fia e au auna pea mo oi Samoa. Maftaile fia mai, we'll see you again. God bless.
O le whaamama awenga le nei ma le Pacific Isi, mo au tupe whaamumoli Samoa, a o tapuni ai ofisa mo le whaava yaso. Whaonga nei lolna wa unanga forward ta ua, o le direct transfer. A whai wa yesa o membership card ma e whaonga ina le internet banking, o le matua I whaingo fia lava. Na o le tipose mai lava lau se leni in mato account, o na whaatino leo la foina o lau se leni mo a inga I Samoa. E ia inga I tahu na whaamalia ina, mo nisi whaamatalanga I le nei au nanga fo. Wala au le telefoni o walu se lau o tasi o nono, po le lua fitu ono fitu iwa fitu wha. Pe text mai fo ilo suafa I le valu tolu o.
Telephone voucher is one of the most convenient ways that I'm finding now to do my shopping here at Farmer Joe, and my sister just sent through the voucher on my cell phone, and I just come straight to Farmer Joe to do my shopping.
O lesi tūranga pitusili o le tāua. O le lafo me o le pepa tala o loa. Ona whaanga le whaatau o loa e au ngā mole ainga.
I think it's really convenient for families overseas if they don't know how to help their families here. Then this is the perfect way.
Mai e le sa sunga pua tau e lisia sa.
Ni fia foi sawe mo mawina ni foi au nang fo e ala mai le talo for voucher. Ila wana fa akau ma me te mga ai ile voucher.
Tai mo le talo for voucher ua maua le apasusi o se wa fine. So se paro loa whaingo pie a me se le te wherua i malau telefoni tai mi uma. Ai lo le lafo merkes o na inu e leo tamao re ainga.
Mo fa te tu lava le talo for voucher mo le foi au nang fo fa tai. Ma lu la le tampai.
Pa tai talo for voucher. Teki talo for voucher.